Tag Show. Tag Show. That's gonna leave a mark, Taylor.
That's undisputed because I'm undisputed.
What's up, everybody? You're listening to and watching a brand new episode of the Mixed Tag Show with
Jenna and Blue.
Blue. It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute. You know, a lot to catch up on. A lot of stuff that we don't necessarily want to catch up on, but we got to discuss it. But yeah, putting it lightly. How are you? How's everything?
Everything is everything. You know, life is life. Taking it one day at a time, and trying to find better employment because as everything rises, like gas, it seems like our pay stays the same. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm in a point too where I'm trying to just like, God willing, hope for promotions and stuff like that. Or hey, someone comes calling and wants to make the mixed tag show and offer us the bag. But until then,
Right.
Yeah, just trying to figure out career moves because, like you said, whether it's gas or just
Rent.
housing market, rent, the whole nine. Trying to find a house, trying to get a car.
Facts.
It's a lot. So as you said, just taking it one day at a time, adulting basically.
So yeah, they lied to us and said this was fun. I mean, I guess nobody never really said it was fun, but we just assumed it was fun, and we lied to ourselves.
Yeah, well, you know what I think it is? It's like in 20s, it's just like you're finding yourself and you, I guess, quote unquote, having fun and making the mistakes that whatever the case might be. But then your 30s is like, oh shit, and then you want to buckle down. And then it's like, all right, they say by your 40s, everything is like smooth sailing. So hopefully that is the case by the 40s.
Praying for
and some better days. So, but I think the good, not to get off too much off topic because we got to get into the show, but just as long as you focus on stuff and aware of things, you'll be all right. Huh?
Yeah. Before we get ready to start the show, you wanna well, I guess we can start off the show with this information, right? With anything else? Before we start, I have to put it in that we're back. If you're watching now on this Tuesday, or after, go to our Twitch. Head to our YouTubes, but live on Twitch 8 p.m. Eastern. I don't know where I get 9 from. 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna have Ron Hunt from Shane Teller Promotions.
Daylight savings messing you up, or it's been it's been a couple of weeks.
This diet, my head is all over the place. But yeah, Ron Hunt, 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, the Mixed Tag Show. Make sure you check us out. I'll be there. I'm pretty sure Jenna's gonna listen if she's not too busy. So yeah, make sure you check us out on Put You On. We're back.
Why does that? It's kind of rude. It's like, why do you think like? Am I busy on Tuesdays? I'm not always busy on Tuesdays.
I don't know. You might be busy.
Anyway, okay. Yes,
it's so hard. It's so hard to find these like indie wrestlers to book because they're not like answering their DMs or the emails. Like I get it, they're bombarded. Like they have like a million of fans in their contacts. But yeah, if you're a wrestler and you listen to the show, hit us up. We'll put you on. We'll put people onto you.
Or people just don't really look at their emails and stuff like that and DM. So, but hey, that's okay because we're gonna dig deep because that's what entertainers and content creators does.
Exactly. Do you want us to start off with this somber thoughts, or you want me to do it?
Yeah, unfortunately, yesterday, or over maybe not even yesterday, but over the weekend, right? That we found out about this. When exactly was it?
Yeah, we found out on Sunday that Scott Hall is currently
on life support.
On life support.
Right.
He had 3 heart attacks Saturday night.
Right. So he
And
originally, if those of you that don't know, he fell and had to get hip surgery, and that led to more complications, as Blue mentioned, with 3 heart attacks, and which led to a blood clot, and unfortunately, with him being on life support. Kevin Nash posted on his Instagram that he's on life support and his family will be taking him off soon. And it seems as of now he is actually off life support, but he's like still hanging in there. So,
right,
you know, our prayers are to his friends, his family, his colleagues. Scott Hall, Razor Ramon has always been one of my favorite characters growing up, and just to see that him change his life around, with DDP and everything like that, helping him, and just seeing that he has a lot of fans and friends in the community that's been willing to help him and get him back on track. So, he's definitely. I read something on Twitter, essentially, the way his life essentially went, he should have been gone a long time ago, and he was able to
yeah.
prevail. So I'm hoping this is one of these miracles, because he still has a lot of life to live and a lot of fans that are pulling for him. So, but we definitely send our condolences out to his family and his friends and his colleagues.
Not condolences yet. Prayers.
Not our prayers. Yeah, absolutely right. Our prayers,
Our prayers.
and we're hoping and praying for a miracle.
Definitely. I tweeted Monday morning because literally when I seen Nash's tweet, well, IG, I literally cried because like I understood where he's coming from, and it's kind of like we grew up with them. You know what I'm saying? And you saw those demons that he fought, and hearing his story about when he was a bouncer and how he fought for his life then, and with this whole his demons then afterwards, and just to see him where he's at now, it's just like, yo, he's a fighter. So I kind of suspected that he was gonna fight after he come off this life support as well, and currently he is. So we're hoping that he pulled through.
Hey yo,
Definitely like a sad moment. So definitely something. Hey yo, uh, bad times don't last, but
right?
bad guys do.
So we're pulling for you, Scott. Unfortunately, I wish we can like transition to great news, but you actually sent me this tweet earlier today. So I guess the good news is with Big E. Those of you who aren't familiar, this past Friday, him and Kofi had a match against Sheamus and what's this guy's name?
Rich Holly.
Yeah, and he did a German suplex, dropped him on his head. That looked really, really bad. And the outcome of that, Biggie has a broken neck. Um,
Yeah.
Thank God that it didn't paralyze him or anything like that, severe damage to the spinal cord or anything like that. But unfortunately, his what is it, C6 and
C1.
C1 and C6 vertebrae are fractured. So that obviously is going to take a lot of time to heal, a few months. But the tweet you sent me, I don't know if you want to be the one to dab
Yeah.
on into that a
So
little bit.
basically, the C1, they're saying that it depends on how it heals, that it might be a career-ending injury. To do a comparison, that's basically the same injury that Tyson Kidd suffered.
Mm,
So, if the bone doesn't heal properly, then it just might have ended Big E's career as well.
yeah,
Again, thank God, he's still able to, he ain't losing no feelings anywhere or anything like that. But it just sucks. Like, it's just been a bad week for wrestling. Just from the Scott Hall news to jump into finding out that Big E might not be able to come back. We're praying that that's not the case. It's not confirmed or anything like that. Big E, actually, we have to give a lot of props to. When he was getting rolled off, he made sure to throw a thumbs up to give the crowd some relief. He's been updating us fans directly through his social media accounts. So, yeah, so he's been doing a good job communicating with all these things. Hopefully, WWE don't try to shut him up now and let him continue to communicate if that's what he really feels like he wants to do. And we'll find out more later on. But right now, it's comparing the two injuries between his and Tyson Kidd. Hopefully, we're hoping for the best.
and listen, outside of Tyson Kidd, we've seen situations like Edge, and we've seen Brian Danielson
Brian Danielson, yep.
have similar injuries, and it took years for them
Paige.
to get it. Well, Paige is not actively wrestling, but the point I
Well,
was
no,
trying to make was
she did come back.
yeah, but maybe she might have came back too soon. But that's another topic for another day. But the point is, that if to shed some light, like, or on a positive outcome, even if that means he does have to, let's say play a manager role if that's what he wants to do for the time being. Um, the windows never close, just because we've seen in
Right.
other cases that they're able to overcome severe injuries. So we're praying that's the case for Big E. And this may not be the time to vent or whatever, but this is the whole thing. What frustrates me in general, you never know when your time is up, whether, if God forbid, what an accident can happen. You just never know, right? And
Right.
time and time again, we've had these conversations in regards to taking specific wrestlers or superstars for granted, right? Big
Yep.
E, the work that Big E has put in for years, and this is, we're talking from NXT to now, and not only in the work in the ring, but as just an overall personality in and outside the ring. You know what
Yep.
I mean? And when he finally got his chance, WWE squandered it. And let's keep it 100. I know there's a lot of people, that want to defend Big E and defend his title reign, but it was not a good reign, right? And it's
It
not because
wasn't.
it's not because it was his fault, but because the storyline, he actually probably didn't really get any prominent storyline. So that's for one. Two, his character was toned down, much more serious, when we know Big E likes to joke around and just be just this big old lovable
Yeah.
guy. So they
Yeah.
completely changed his character. And you know it's like, we're like, damn, well, hopefully, he'll get back and have his moment back. And now it's like, well, damn, is that going to even happen now because of this potential career ending injury? So it's just really, it's frustrating and annoying that you have such great talent that's sitting there and bust their ass day in and day out, and then you utilize them in such trash ways, and then they go
Yeah.
wasted. And that honestly, that was, if when you sent me that and you saw my reaction, how I was like,
Yeah.
no. And it's just like that.
Yeah.
And then it turns to anger,
Right.
because it's like, that was such a terrible reign. And is that's what we're supposed that's how he's supposed to end his career. I'm not
Right.
putting that out there, like, I just, I'm a firm believer, you put things out, God, and in the universe, and putting things out, and whatever. I don't want to be the one to put it out there, but I'm just saying, from a standpoint with WWE, it's just like, this his title reign, and this how this all came about, could have went so much differently. And it's
Yeah.
just,
Definitely.
now we have to sit here, and it's like, what if?
Yeah, and that, like you said, he did a lot outside, besides inside of the ring, outside of the ring, between what he was doing with the UFC, boxing, the football community, something that he came from. Also doing our heroes rock with Hell. Like, he has so many like dope programs that he's doing outside of wrestling and as a person. And then once you gave him the title reign, and it was just like, what? You know what I mean? Like it was like so poorly booked. And it's sad that we're gonna like that he didn't get the proper and that's one of the things that made me not want to watch you the furthest, is like, you gave a man a title and then it didn't really do anything, and then you just send him back to SmackDown with no pop and circumstance. This is a former world champion. You just send him back to SmackDown, and he can't even be part of his group. He has to be considered Big E and not part of New Day, and all this restrictions and everything like that. And then what's the payoff? So now this WrestleMania, we're missing Bobby Lashley and we're missing Big E. For
Yeah,
what?
listen, yeah, and at the end of the day, accidents happen, but it should be a wake up call. Like, if, especially if, again, someone who people the talent that bust their ass, and there's legitimately reaction to those said talent, right? It's like, it's not like there's, at the end of the day, everyone should get a chance. I'm not saying,
Right.
this person shouldn't or this person should. Ultimately, everyone should get a chance, but specifically those that are constantly in the spotlight and constantly get a crowd reaction, and been doing it for years. It's like, give them a little bit more. This didn't have to
Right.
end this way, you
Right.
know? And it's frustrating. And like I said, and I don't want to point fingers, and accidents happen. You can never really prepare for this. You can protect the person you're with, but at the end of the day, accidents happen. So when people say wrestling isn't real, this is a real ass injury, you know.
Right.
So again, it's not to point fingers
A
at
life-changing
anybody.
injury.
Life changing injury. So not to point fingers at anybody, but WWE has to do better in regards to like just uh you not taking their talent
Sharing
for
the
granted.
wealth.
Yeah, sharing the wealth.
sharing
They're not
this.
taking your talent for granted because it's really unfortunate that I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just that really got like after the Scott Hall news and that was just like
Yeah, that was just a terrible start.
yeah.
Just to push back a little bit later, real quick. Butch? What the fuck is a butch?
Oh, Blue is mad when he curses and loud like that.
Like,
I'm normally the one that be like,
what
but
the
yeah,
fuck is a butch?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
watch. And my boys tweet me like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, what happened? I'm not watching. Yo, they just changed Pete Dunne's name to Butch.
Yo,
What?
and I haven't even been watching. I've checked out if I'm not even watching SmackDown to like watch Sasha or whatever. I haven't really been
We're
watching
not.
SmackDown.
We're gonna get to
Well,
that. We're gonna get to
no,
that.
we gonna get to that. But so then when that match was going on and Pete Dunne came out, Pete Dunne, damn Butch, Pete Dunne came out, and I was like, I had to look real closely. Like it looked like Pete Dunne, but I was like, maybe it's some random person that looks like him. It can't, no way in hell Pete Dunne is Butch, right? I promise you, for a good 2-3 minutes, I was watching, and as he was beating up, I forgot. I guess it was Kofi. I forget who.
Yeah,
Or whomever.
Kofi.
Yeah.
I saw the video.
Yeah, when I'm like, no, that can't be him. Until they finally put the close up of him, I was like, that's Pete Dunne, and I'm just like, I don't understand. Who sits there and goes, your name is gonna be Butch? Like,
You just did the voice of who does it.
it's just like this is not 1950, 1960, with like the cartoons where like the dogs were named Butch and stuff like this. This is 2022.
And Gunther.
Like what it's like a time warp watching this company. It's what I tell you, man.
And I get it. You want to own the names. They probably don't want to sell you their names. There's probably a reason why. You probably giving them not so good deals on their names. Why do you I get it. You have to own the names, but why can't you find a way to do a deal where you share a portion of their profits until they get released? You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's a contractual way to do this than butchering every freaking superstar with names. People say names don't matter. They do, because they carry your legacy.
What happened?
I'm tired of seeing that.
Remember with the Viking Raiders? Remember that whole when they came up from NXT, and it was just this whole debacle Viking experience, and then this, and then finally it was like, it's like, yo,
no, that's the name of the finisher. No, that's the name of the group. Like, they was confused on the commentary.
And then it was just like, and mind you, they've never really recovered from that. Granted, how WWE treats the tag team division, but even still, that you made like a legitimate strong team look like fools, right? So now
it
going
was War
to this,
Machine, and then it went to War Raiders, and then now Viking
experience, yeah. And then Viking Raiders, and it's just like you made them look stupid. And then going back with the whole thing, if that's the case in regards to you don't want you want to own the name,
all the money.
If you want to, if that was the case, then when they came to the company, that should have been said from jump, even when they were from NXT, right? Because now there are legitimately people who watch 700,000, 600,000 people that watch NXT a week that know Pete Dunne as the Bruiserweight, as Pete Dunne, right? For all these years, right?
He was on the Survivor Series.
He was
killing
it.
Survivor Series.
Killing it. So it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's the same thing with Walter. Like they like, nope, let's erase it, start over.
But I think he's still called Gunther, though. I haven't been.
I'm talking about like Walter in terms of like he was up here for Survivor Series. He was part of the NXT team for Survivor Series, and then now he's like, nope, Gunther.
Out of sight, out of mind. Like we ain't listen. Whatever. That's that. I just.
Oh
It
my
is what it
god.
is with with WWE.
I don't see. We're gonna get to it when we get to WrestleMania card. Um, let's move on. Let's go to the other company real quick. How you feeling about? How did you watch Revolution?
Not all of it. I like got caught bits and pieces, but per usual, you know how I feel about AEW pay per views are extremely long, even though WWE
What
can be long,
on a
but
Sunday?
on a Sunday, remember when I had these conversations? Obviously, I didn't get the chance for you to go to the Java Tears viewing
Yeah,
party
shout out to
or
them.
whatever.
They showed their title on their podcast this past week. We
Congratulations to
gave them
them.
their tag team titles. Congrats on winning that.
And
We're coming back for those.
that's right. Anyway, but yeah, so it was just, and outside of the reason why I couldn't come, but it was just like, I remember what I told you. I was like, damn, this is on a Sunday? Because if it was Saturday, I'm like, all right, cool. But
Right, it'd be more comfortable. Like they used to do stuff on Saturdays. Like I don't know why they switched it to Sundays. I don't know if it's like a TNT situation or I don't know.
but it should
But
have fell on
bring
a
it back on
Saturday.
Saturdays.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it was a great pay-per-view. It was a great pay-per-view. This CM Punk and MJF match was crazy violent, but it was good.
Show.
Very, very good. And this is what I was kind of waiting for in general with this feud between those two. I was just waiting for it, like for CM Punk to really sink his teeth into something like a really good feud. Not only a good feud, but really elevating a talent, not just one offs and just winning.
Right.
This was that feud. So that was dope. I was disappointed with Britt Baker winning, retaining the title, but we know she's gonna lose it. It seems like that's what's happening. That Thunder Rosa
Right.
gonna win it in her hometown, and I
Home
guess it
state.
makes sense. Home state.
State town.
No, I think it's
Whatever.
town
Home
because it's
state.
in San Antonio.
San
No,
Antonio. Yeah. Yep.
whatever. Let's keep it home state. Whatever it is, it seems like she's gonna win there, and then I guess it makes sense with Britt Baker getting the new title, which is pretty dope.
How you
At
like
first,
it?
I didn't like it just because it just seemed so square. But as I see Britt hold it up, and then I saw her like it looks in a couple pictures or whatever. I was like, I want that title. Yeah. So that you know that was an okay match. What other matches I'm missing? There's so many that happened.
So here's I like the ones that you mentioned. So I'm not even gonna mention those. For me, I love the Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho match and having Eddie Kingston come out on top. That was Eddie
Listen,
Kingston's
before
first
you
big.
even continue, what is the Chris's new faction? The Jericho
Appreciation Society.
It ain't just WWE with dumb ideas.
I'm pretty sure that was a Jericho idea too. So I'm not surprised.
Product of WWE. Well, WCW was the product of WWE. It's just the apple doesn't fall too
Jericho
far from the tree.
Appreciation Society. And they got my boy Daniel Garcia looking crazy out here. He don't need to be in that group. He don't need it. I find it funny that Brian Danielson mentioned Daniel Garcia, and because you're like, nope, I got him.
Yeah.
No, he's in my faction, my second faction. Like,
I was just like, yo, I was like, what are we doing here? But yeah, going back to Revolution.
I think that I liked that match. I like that match. I like it. That's a bad English. Do not. Yeah, I like that match.
You liked it.
Also, stop it. Face of the Revolution ladder match. That shit was hard hitting, crazy spots. I loved it. I loved all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to
Moxley
me,
and BD. Okay. BD, yeah. That match, that was
How did you pop when Regal came out?
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I said to you just before in the whole Big E thing. I sat there, I'm like, yo, William Regal is such an intricate part in so many WWE superstars, like big superstars, because of him, because of the talent, the eye, the knack for talent and just whatever. How do you decide to let that go? And granted, yes, I understand NXT and the whole image thing and wanting to go younger, but this William
Yeah.
Regal is the catalyst for all that. So, but to see him on AEW, man, that for me, well, one thing is he's gonna be their manager or is he an active wrestler? Because I
Yep.
saw,
He's gonna be the manager. He's gonna be the manager.
but then I saw like he had like an act. They named him as an active wrestler. I said that was a mistake.
No, they just put him on a roster as opposed
Yeah.
to putting him as as a coach or whatever. They put him as a roster member, but he's not wrestling. He's gonna be managing the group that they come up with.
Got it.
That's gonna
Listen,
be interesting.
that's gonna be dope. And listen, outside of that, I hope he has a hand in like building new talent, right? Because
Facts.
again, it's William Regal. So that was dope. That's a big, like there's a lot of acquisitions that AEW with Swerve and then Keith Lee and Jeff Hardy. And it's like, yeah, it's cool. It's dope to see. It's dope.
Paige, they also signed Paige, the MMA fighter.
Yeah, so it's just like it's a lot of dope signings, but you know how I feel about that. It's like, yeah, all right,
What's gonna happen?
what's gonna happen? But with William
Where's the
Regal,
space?
exactly. But William Regal, I think, is a underrated signing just because if you utilize him right in the sense of helping your talent and really elevating them, no pun intended, um, you know, I think that'd be really, really good for AEW because I think that's something that they're missing. I think that because they're just too busy kind of just getting acquisitions and trying to, beef up their roster. But
Right.
I'm sure there's like newer talent that you can really, really help them with, whether it's their character work, et cetera, et cetera. So definitely
I give them
underrated
this
signing.
though. I give them this though. They do let the wrestlers put hands on with others because right now Brian Danielson's been helping Jade, and you can see the difference night and day from now and a month ago with Jade and how she moves in the ring.
Well, she needed.
Yeah,
So
so
she
her working with Brian Danielson is pretty dope. So to see, it's gonna be interesting to see how William Regal gets to put his hands in the pot with other wrestlers as well backstage and get them going. It's a great move by them. But yeah, Revolution altogether was a great card. Even the Adam Page versus Adam Cole match, Adam versus Adam. First of all, the crowd was amazing with that one. Like the chance they was coming up with.
Yeah. Adam versus
Let's go, Adam. Let's go. Like, which one?
Which one?
Adam sucks. No, he don't.
That's awesome participation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go to a
Right.
show and I mean, that was kind of trolling, but it's not trolling where it was like disrespectful. It was just everybody legitimately having a good time. So that's dope. Like, it was just a great pay-per-view. Long.
As fuck.
It's fun, especially when it's not your quote unquote your biggest pay-per-view, right? I don't want to say your WrestleMania, because what is it? All in.
It's all in, yeah.
Is there
All out?
All out. Sorry, All In was the first pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it shouldn't be that damn long. But
Facts.
But listen, it was good. So that was a good win for wrestling.
Let's go over and look at your WWE WrestleMania card. It's a lot of matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I mean, but you expect it for WrestleMania, and I don't want to indulge because I think we can save that for like we can save it for. Yeah, I don't want to do all of that, but it's just you know how I've been going to WrestleMania since what? Like consistently since NOLA, so that's 2018. And if you take out, so it's not that long, but still, if you take out the year we were supposed to go during the pandemic, I've been every year and just very, very excited. This year, I made the conscientious decision because, like we discussed in the beginning, in the sense of making adult choices and stuff like that. But outside of that, I'm not excited for this card
at all. I don't really like. No shade to anybody on this card, or I don't even think I would even want to watch this because this is gonna take like 6 or 7 matches per pay-per-view. I mean, it's gonna take like 6 hours of the day. Like they're gonna start, and then they have NXT as a pre warm up on
At
Saturday
11 o'clock in
evening.
the morning. Isn't it? No, isn't it 11 o'clock
No,
in the
no, morning,
morning? And
morning,
it's,
morning, morning,
yeah.
morning, afternoon. I meant to say morning, afternoon. I don't know why I said evening. But yeah, like it's the pre-show basically for your WrestleMania. I'm not doing all this. like, like
It
I'll
didn't make
probably,
sense. Go ahead.
I'll probably like tune in for probably like the main events. Like I don't need all this on the, like
I
they're
guess.
taking advantage of this 2 night thing. They're doing way too much with this 2 night thing.
Yeah, but if it wasn't too nice, then we would be sitting there for 8, well, however many hours, for if it was one day. My thing is
But I
just
feel like that was the point of the 2 nights, right? They have 2 hours, 3 hours on one night, 2 hours, 3 hours on another night. Not to have freaking 6 hours one day, 6 hours the next day. That's kind of productive, no? That's kind of productive.
no, you're right. You're right.
Like, we got another day, so let's add 6 more hours. No!
This would make any damn. It was like, and I hate to say it was a blessing in the skies because of the pandemic, because obviously people
Right.
lost their lives and got really sick. So no, and lost what the whole thing that we went through with this. But it's just like when it came to this, it was just like, okay, maybe we can go with a different approach. And then again, it's like, yo, first of all, here and there, yeah, they'll have specials in regards to how they sell the tickets, but for the most part, if let's say you get $600 seats, you're spending $600 for day one and then another $600 for day two. So that's $1,200 in taxes, whatever that you're spending. Or if you're someone that's, got RAM seats immediately, that's thousands of dollars that you're spending in 2 nights. You know what I mean? So if
Not
I'm
counting
like
hotel, food,
the whole nine,
ride, flight.
listen, some people are with it. That's on them. That's cool. But for me, I just had to sit there. Like, again, it's just like, is it really worth it? Now, people probably listen to this and probably think, oh, well, because Sasha doesn't have, and yeah, that could be it. Why I'm deciding to skip this
We'll
WrestleMania.
get
But
into that.
in the grand scheme of things, it's just like you need an allergy pill, son.
Nah, my kids got me sick last weekend.
That sounds like allergies. That doesn't sound like sickness.
No, it's like stuffy nose.
Okay. Anyway, but like, yeah, you got Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. Like, I know there's always has
Pat
to be that
McAfee
celebrity
versus Austin Theory.
and then Logan Paul.
With the,
Who's he? What
versus
is?
Mysterios with the Miz.
Yeah, like, come on. It's like normally WrestleMania has that one maybe celebrity match, if I'm not mistaken, but like
Right.
three.
Yep. And they still got a lot of more matches to announce. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, because the Raw tag teams championships haven't been put up, like, and then
Seth Rollins don't got a match yet.
which a lot of people thinking potentially Cody.
It is
Um,
Cody.
you think he's coming out tonight, or
I don't know. He's been
yes,
backpedaling essentially, apparently,
it
allegedly.
was hard for me. It was hard for me to say tonight or yesterday. But if I said yesterday, then that means he did came out, or we should know.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, it's just a lie. The only match that I'm obviously going to tune into is the Bianca. Well, for sure tune into, not the only match, is Bianca versus Becky. But the thing is with that too, I think the bill behind that is kind of trash too. Like, outside of Bianca whipping her and whatnot when they hit that tag team, it's just like it's kind of the same thing that happened with Sasha and her last year. Like, the
Right.
bill is very poor. So I'm just hoping that the outcome is, again, another stellar performance by those two. But and then you
And
got
there's the issue of like Stone Cold Steve Austin appearing on a KO show after they try to sell it as if Austin was coming back for his return match.
and it's
Like,
this is no shade to KO, but it's just like I would want Stone Cold to come back for someone different. I don't want to say better, someone different. For KO, it's just like, where's the correlation? Just because KO decided to use a stunner?
which he already said that Austin gave him the permission to do.
So it's just like, why? So there's inconsistencies. Is you calling him out? Yeah, I guess the great state of Texas, but shit, Undertaker's from from Texas. Shawn Michaels is from Texas. It's just like
Speaking of, one thing we almost forgot. Shout out to Charmel getting the nomination for the WWE Hall of Fame this year.
yes, she's the
Queen
second black
Charbel.
woman.
Sorry.
She's the
Queen
second
Charbel.
black. She's the second black woman to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. So that's huge, and it's unfortunate that it came on on a day where, we got a couple of sorrow news, some somber news, but nonetheless, that's a great feat, and congratulations to her. But yeah, so it's just like there's so many people that's from Texas. Booker T is from Texas. Mark Henry's from Texas. So it's just like, what's
the whole list?
A lot of wrestlers are from freaking Texas.
Jacqueline's from Texas.
Jacqueline is from Texas. So it's just like, what is the correlation that? Okay, I love seeing Stone Cold. Don't get me wrong with that, but it's just like.
Now I just want to listen to everybody that's coming from Texas.
Imagine. So it's just that's dumb, and it's gonna just be one of those those segments, those, give me a hell yeah, and then they're talking, and Austin's gonna drink with him, and they're gonna laugh it up like he's gonna get him, catch him sleeping, and then he's gonna stunner him, and then celebrate with the crowd. You can see this from a mile away, right? And then, and then you got the Roman and Brock match, which I'm sure that's going to be a great match, but again, it's just we've seen it too many times.
We had it like 8 times already. Like
4 times at Mania, and then like 8
right, that's like,
yeah.
Like, why are we doing this? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, after 8 years of wrestling, this is the one match you keep giving to us consistently over and over again. We could have put different peoples in that place.
And the thing is, and it's not, and as much as I love Roman and I love Roman's current work, and I even like Brock's current work, but Roman and Brock don't have that feud that you turn on Peacock or the WWE Network, wherever you watch their documentaries and shows, where let's say that show Rivalries come back and we want to revisit Brock and Roman. No, you wouldn't revisit that feud because it was never a feud that was monumental or was groundbreaking, like Randy and John, or Brett and Shawn, Rock and Stone Cold and
hold on,
Vince McMahon. It's like, this is not something we're gonna look back and be like, you know what? God, that was a great feud. So it's just like, it just shows that you have nothing left to offer, and it sucks that we've gotten to this point, because it's like you're literally running out of ideas. Then can we finally get to
I'm about to say it.
All right, how you go
from main event WrestleMania a year ago?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
And then now you're in a tag team turmoil match that they like to do on WrestleMania. I don't know when they started liking doing this anymore.
It's not even 2-on-2.
Like, we know they're gonna add more tag teams to this because they did this last year and the year before that. Ever since these titles been created, they find out this is a way to put more women on the card without giving them a meaningful match.
Exactly.
Let's be 100.
It's like, and this is no disrespect to Naomi. This is no disrespect to Rhea, Liv, Zelina, Carmella, but Sasha Banks, after what Sasha Banks accomplished from 2020 to 2020, not even, if you want to take it back to 2019,
right?
When she came back,
pandemic era,
and then in the pandemic era to main event and wrestle. This is what you said I have for her.
And then your top rate, the top person likes to trend on whenever you put her on TV, Naomi. This is where you want to put her.
It's just like, enough is enough, man. And this is like, you already know you're just as big of a fan as I am. But when she came back, had her match, I thought, all right, she's gonna talk a little bit or whatever. When Naomi, I was like, and I promise you, from then I have not, up until last week, I haven't watched SmackDown, because I was like, damn, I always wondered what was going to be my breaking point in regards to not even giving a fuck in regards to watching when she's on. And that was my breaking point. And obviously it has nothing to do with her. It has nothing to do with Naomi. But it's just like, how is this
okay.
And it's okay. And then they know the outrage, and yet they still do it. And then what happens when if she wants to leave the company? Because I hear her contract is coming up soon.
You're gonna offer her $5 million to stay,
and then promise her this, that. Like, come on. And then
so what happened with Cesaro? We ain't talking about that. Cesaro went out. He's like, yo, he was smart. We thought he did a long-term deal. He didn't do a long-term deal. He did a partial deal to renegotiate after whatever. They try to feed him this bullshit title challenge, and after that they do nothing with him. Look, he's out. He's like, nah, no negotiating needed. We out.
And it's just like, yo, you got this whole Charlotte and Ronda feud that is like fizzing out before it even really got. It's just like it's.
And can we talk about this real quick? Now you put Rhea Ripley in another tag team. You put Liv Morgan in another tag team. How does that work? They were both hot on their own. Instead of giving them maybe a title shot, single title match, you could have put freaking Liv Morgan in this Bianca Belair situation and Becky Lynch situation.
And that's what I remember when we discussed this. I honestly felt like Bianca wasn't going to even be the one to necessarily get the title shot. I mean, I was like, yeah, maybe potentially, but I didn't think they would. I thought maybe Liv would have a shot. And I wouldn't have, like, remember I said this in one of the episodes. I said I wouldn't be mad if it was a triple threat between Becky, Liv, and Bianca, because you know, Liv did her thing early on in the late last year and early on into this year with Becky. It just makes sense, right? And then the thing is, like you said, it's just finding a way to get the women on the card, you know, just like, all right, the women's on the card, but it's just like there's so many things that you can do. You could have a number one contenders match with for both brands, right? Like, let's say Sasha versus Naomi or something, or just I'm just throwing out whatever, and that whoever wins that said match will be the next person to face, let's say Charlotte or Ronda,
and then you do
this, or not even night two, but just in general in the future, right?
Right.
But not everything has to be all the women in one tournament. And then it's like with the tag team match, it's like, okay, it's gonna be the same bullshit turmoil match. Put them in a freaking ladders match. Put them in something. Let's what if you're gonna do that, let's give them a hype match. But it's like, so what the fuck am I gonna sit here and pay $500, $600 for to see this, $200, $300 to go fly out there, then pay $200, $300 a night. I mean, not a night, for the whole time. No, I'm not doing that. I don't even know if
I want to watch it at home. That's a long time. 6 hours in front of the TV. I got kids. They want TV time too.
That's just I've never in the.
It's sad, man. It's bad out here.
WrestleMania, and the irony is, like, a lot of people say WrestleMania 32 is bad. I was the only thing that was really interests me was the triple threat match between Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha, right? So that's what was my highlight. But then when you look at it, it wasn't the greatest WrestleMania. So now they're gonna go back to Dallas, the same place, and have another shit WrestleMania.
You know what's crazy? WrestleMania weekend has become the time to go out there and watch everything else but WWE stuff.
And that's what I was getting
there's a lot of indie wrestling that's going on. I'm jealous that I'm not gonna be able to go see. That's what I'm seeing. Like, on my timeline, everybody's like, "Yo, I'm going here, 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 here." What are we gonna do during WrestleMania? Probably watch it at the house or meet up at the bar and watch it. But I'm trying to hit these indie shows though. Like,
and that's what I was getting ready to tell you, that, or before when we started talking about this, it's not necessarily that I want to go to Mania, but the only reason why I would be like wanting to go to Dallas would be the festivities. Wale Mania, seeing people I haven't seen, going to indie shows, whatever like things we can get into. But in regards to actual WrestleMania, I could care less. I truly could care less. And it's crazy because I know around this time of year, I get this, like, it's like a kid on Christmas Day. It's like, because because wrestling, right? It's like wrestling is our passion. And this is our Christmas, right?
Yep, not this time.
When is WrestleMania? Like, it's literally in a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks.
It was like April 2nd, 3rd, right? 2nd, 3rd is the dates.
Yes. I truly do not care at this particular point. What, that's 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. That's the weekend.
I don't.
That's the weekend after my daughter be here.
Woo, that's more exciting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, man.
Yeah,
but
no,
I
it's-
just
yeah.
like
And
I
they're
don't
gonna
know
add more matches. That's the thing. They have to add more matches to this.
Listen, Godspeed to everyone that goes. I'm sure people will have fun in general, but
Not I.
I can't do it this year.
And on that note, we bid you guys adieu.
That was our show. Again, if you haven't subscribed to our Twitch or YouTube, follow us on Instagram, Twitter at the Mixed Tag Show. I was gonna say at Miss Jenna Baby. At the Mixed Tag Show. We're giving you content. You know, as we always say, we got to get back on track and give you guys some stuff, the things that we've been thinking about. So definitely stay tuned for that. You can follow us at our personals at Miss Jenna Baby, BAYBEE, or at
Blue Magic Grind, spelled how it sound. Also, don't forget, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have Ron Hunt from Shane Teller Promotions on for Put You On at 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune into our Twitch channel, The Mixed Tag Show. If you don't get to watch it on Tuesday night, it's going to be streamed again during the week. You can head over to Twitch or head over to our YouTube channel. It'll be up there as well. You can catch up on that. And I think that's about it.
Yeah, I done told them where they can find us at. Like, why would you repeat yourself, son? Why would you repeat yourself?
This is for Put You On.
Oh, yeah. Put You On Tuesday, 8 p.m. Blue is hosting this week.
And on that note, peace.
Peace. Peace.
Tag show.